What 90s grunge bands were overshadowed by Seattle? Imagine a scene where Seattle's grunge scene was bursting with raw energy and loud guitars. Everyone remembers Nirvana and Pearl Jam, but many other bands played vital roles too. Some of these groups didn't get the spotlight they deserved, even though they helped shape the sound and attitude of the era. Green River is one of those bands. They started in the late 1980s and are often called one of the first true grunge bands. Their members later formed Mudhoney and Pearl Jam, which shows how influential they were. Still, Green River never hit big on the charts or gained widespread fame. Their gritty, punk-infused sound was a big part of the scene's early days, but they stayed more underground. Mother Love Bone is another example. They had a lot of promise and released one album called Apple in 1990. The band's charismatic lead singer, Andrew Wood, died of a heroin overdose just before they could break through. Their music was a mix of glam and grunge, and many believe they could have been huge if not for tragedy. Even now, they are seen as a bridge between the early Seattle scene and the more mainstream success that followed. Mudhoney is often associated with the Seattle scene, but they didn't reach the same level of fame as Nirvana or Pearl Jam. Their sound was loud, aggressive, and heavily influenced by punk. Songs like Touch Me I'm Sick became anthems for underground fans. Mudhoney stayed true to their raw style, but their name didn't become a household one outside of the grunge community. Tad is another band that contributed a lot to the grunge sound. Their music was heavy and sludgy, with a focus on thick riffs and powerful vocals. They never achieved major commercial success but were highly respected among fans of the genre. Their underground status kept them from the mainstream spotlight, even though they helped define the grunge aesthetic. Beyond Seattle, bands like Stone Temple Pilots from San Diego gained fame but often get grouped with the Seattle scene. They had a similar sound but came from a different place, which sometimes led to them being overshadowed in the narrative of grunge's origins. Australian band Silverchair also started with a grunge-inspired sound but moved away from it later, making their connection to the scene less clear. The Smashing Pumpkins and Hole are other examples. They were influential in the alternative scene but didn't come from Seattle. Their styles were different enough that they're often seen as separate from the core grunge movement. Still, they helped shape the broader alternative music explosion of the 1990s. The scene in Seattle was much more diverse than just the big four bands. Many groups experimented with punk, goth, and even theatrical elements. These bands may not have sold millions of records, but they kept the spirit of grunge alive with their raw energy and authenticity. Recognizing these overshadowed bands helps us see how rich and varied the scene really was. Their music continues to inspire new generations of alternative, emo, and screamo artists who value honesty and emotional expression in their sound.